Do I have a hard time focusing? Is it difficult to follow through on a project or an assignment if it's boring? Because what I want to highlight is that someone who's neurotypical, if there's something in front of them that needs to be done, just the fact that it's important or there will be a reward at the end is enough for them to get their brain engaged and do it. But if you have ADHD, that does absolutely nothing for you. It doesn't matter how important it is. That's not what engages your brain. Our brain is engaged through novelty, through interest, through a challenge or competition, or through passion. And then also, if something's urgent, all week we might not be motivated to do it, but at the do or die last moment, all of a sudden we can get our brain engaged to do it. So our brain actually operates differently. We're dopamine chasers. And you want to look at like the emotional sensitivity. Is this just triggered because you're going through a hard time right now, or your entire life have you noticed you're extremely sensitive when somebody teases you, or you feel like you haven't pleased someone or met their expectations? You kind of spiral inside and overthink about it for a long period of time. Are you constantly comparing yourself? If they can follow through, they do good in school, I struggle, I have a hard time, usually with math, but on test taking or remembering things, my short-term working memory. So there's things like that, and impulsivity that we're looking at our whole life. Have we noticed that these things are just a struggle for us? And it's not just I'm going through a hard time, or I don't like school, I don't like my job. There's a handful of impairments that are causing us to not be able, because what I'll say is that ADHDers are very smart and they're very creative, and sometimes they can hyper-focus and just get things done, usually faster than the average person. So it's confusing to them. Somebody asks them, why can't you just do it? They don't know. We don't know why sometimes our brain can just turn on and get engaged, and other times we just can't. And so we start to not trust ourselves. We worry about letting other people down because we don't know if we're going to be able to follow through. If you're an ADHDer and you've experienced ADHD paralysis, this makes a lot of sense. If you don't have ADHD, I find that people will be very critical. Like, just try harder. Just get organized. Just plan ahead, wake up earlier. And when you have ADHD, that advice does absolutely nothing for you. You know what needs to be done. You understand, you're smart, but you cannot figure out how to get your brain to do it.
But it helps. Like I am working on organization to tools. I'm constantly trying again to develop ways to fight the condition, right? I'm taking the medication, I'm doing the right things. So far I've been able to do well. But Jerry, I want to ask you something I think is very important. As you are a life coach, so I'm assuming you work with a lot of professionals. How should a professional address this at their workplace? And I'm saying this because I've been having issues at my jobs for some time now. As I said, my last year I lost a job that it took me years to get because I got in a depressive state, the ADHD, the whole thing. I didn't ask for help. I didn't tell anything because I was afraid of rejection. I was afraid of a lot of things.